Welcome back, folks and friends. Silver Gold Man here, aka Connectingdots2. I'm actually working on a future video here, and what I'm trying to do is tie in the salmon runs, their migration paths with the Fukushima currents to see if, because this tracks their population by species, and because the species all have different migration patterns, I'm trying to find out if Fukushima is leaking all the time, and there's a specific pathway in the ocean that may be affecting certain ones. Anyways, long story short, that's for another time because I'm just beginning that. But I want to share with you something I found that actually began 2 days ago, on November 17th in Canada. And this is going to affect all of you, and I'm sharing it, and I mean all of you, that would be North America, Canada, US. Essentially, you're looking at two Atlantic salmon, and they're exactly the same species. That's right, the same kind of salmon. Well, they don't look the same, right? That's because one of them is what? Frankenfood, genetically altered. That's correct. Oh boy, I had to stop my research and make this video very quickly, so I hope you enjoy the information because this is rather disgusting, and I'm going to share with you, as usual, my personal experiences, what I've found. I've mentioned before how my family has worked in Ottawa dealing with the government, the federal government, for over 19 years. I have immediate family that still works, oddly enough. You're going to find this very odd, but they work in charge of Canadian Health Inspection Agency. Yeah, and they worked at Health Canada, and I'm going to share with you, like, even my someone I dated for a long time worked at Health Canada. Um, I'll share with you, like, what took place when a minister quit working at Health Canada. Folks, we have major corruption in Ottawa. There's no doubt about it. And I'm not speaking about the average worker that goes to work. Most of those guys are absolutely great people. My immediate family, they think they're doing a good job at the Canadian Food Inspection Agency. Don't talk to them about Fukushima, but they really think they're doing a good job. You think they'd be on top of this? I'm not sure if that family member's there. Hopefully there's some bell going off. And if not, well, you're getting a sibling here who's going to hopefully wake you up to realize that you're being pulled a quick one. So, if you haven't read it, down below it says here, an aquadvantage salmon behind a non-transgenic Atlantic salmon sibling of the same age. That's right. Both of these fish from the same species are the same age, except monster Frankenfish in the background is been genetically altered. So I'm going to read with you a little of the story. I know some of you don't like it. You can hit the space bar and move along, and hit the space bar to unfreeze it, and that way there you don't have to listen to me. So basically it says a court battle over what could be the first approved genetically modified food animal in the world began in Ottawa. Folks, we're in trouble. There's major corruption in Ottawa. I've lived in Ottawa and Victoria, Vancouver Island, British Columbia. Both of those are capital of the Freemason, the corruption that goes around the world. Those sapsuckers are very strong in Ottawa, Toronto, and right here on the West Coast. What can I do? I can't go around shooting all of them. Of course not. And, unfortunately, the Freemasons 33 degrees and lower, they're mostly very good people on the most part. It's their 33 degrees and up is where they get very, very vicious and don't give a shit about you or I. It's themselves and their gang, okay? This is just like a biker gang. I hope you understand that. That's why I'm speaking out about the Freemasons, so you folks can understand what we're dealing with here, okay? They'll feed you the Frankenfish. They won't eat it themselves. They'll eat the wild stuff and organic foods, but they don't mind pulling off their Agenda 21, which is killing off what they consider all the stupid people in the world. So hopefully you're intelligent enough to listen up to hear what's going on and figure out for yourself that we have problems. Okay, so I'm not going to read all of this. As I said, you'll have to hit the space bar. I'm going down to the juice of it, okay? Because Butler said Aqua Bounty salmon would be the first GM animal in the world for food consumption to gain approval. Given that, there should be a serious level of public engagement. You'd think so, right? And participation, right? And transparency around it, right? I'm telling you, we have corruption. The minister tried to tell you. I'll get back to him because I'm trying to whistleblow here right now. Give you all a big heads up. You're being screwed, chewed, and barbecued in Ottawa. It doesn't matter where it is. Washington D.C. We are screwed. The Freemasons. I even said it to my mayor here in Victoria. I said, if you want to bring your real democracy, because that was our big thing here. I said, you want to bring real democracy, you ban all secret societies from participating in any of our local government elections, and you'll be on your way to getting democracy. Until then, you're going to be stuck with that same circle jerk of corruption that don't care about the rest of the people. So unfortunately, the government didn't step up to the plate, didn't do its job. They didn't tell anyone what was going on, okay? It said here in late 2013, Environment Canada approved the commercial development of Aqua Bounty's genetically modified salmon. Were any of us told about that? No. Aqua Bounty intends to produce the GM, genetically modified salmon eggs commercially, and then ship them to a place in Panama and raise them there until they're adults. Oh yeah. Oh, here's the good part. If the genetically modified salmon species receive approval for human consumption in Canada and US, and guaranteed because the Freemasons are in control of our politics and the judicial system, it will be approved. Like I said, this is why the minister himself, after he quit at Health Canada, he had to come out and speak out. They're corrupt to the core. Major corruption here, okay? And that he quit over BGH, bovine growth hormone. They're trying to get him to approve it. He said, hold on a second, it shows that it causes cancer. They didn't care. They passed it in the US. They had to shove it down the Canadians' throat. It's Agenda 21. Let's kill off the stupid people and we'll eat all the good stuff. Okay, so in this case here, the government had opportunity for the public to be given notice that this approval was being issued, but the government bungled that and forgot to publish the notice of the waiver. Folks, they didn't forget, okay? They didn't bungle it. They did it on purpose because they knew damn well the people don't want the Frankeinfish. It's not well received. They want to shove it down your throat without telling you, okay? This is what's going down. Absolutely. They don't care about you. And, you know, he goes on to say that's the best of it, okay? Because he talks about there could be human error and that the GMO salmon could enter the wild. That's right. And he says once the GM salmon breeds with wild Atlantic salmon, the genie is out of the bottle. You can't clean that up. Do you think the people in Ottawa know about that? Yes, but they don't care. Remember? They don't care. They don't care about you. They don't care about I. We had to have, a minister who quit his job and come write a book to warn you all, hold on a second, And he's not a chump. This guy's a world-renowned scientist, okay? I've had my immediate family member that worked at Health Canada. I had a person I dated for a long time that worked there, and they both told me the same thing, that there was things that went across their desks that should be on the 6 o'clock news in Ottawa. Health Canada is absolutely corrupt. I am so happy that we had someone who had the man equipment to quit his job, resign, and write a book and call it Corrupt to the Core, because that's all you're being delivered in Ottawa. The same thing in Washington, D.C. The Freemasons have absolutely invaded all of our political systems as well as our government systems. You're being fed bullshit. In fact, soon you're going to be fed monster bullshit. Anyways, that's the video. Hope you share it with your friends because, as I said, as soon as it's approved in Canada and US for human consumption, this sucker's going to be on your plate. And now that they don't have to label GMO fish, you'll be sucking it up and you won't even know that it's GMO because the people in control are corrupt. Okay, I don't know if you have anyone in U.S. that's spill the beans on your corruption in Health Canada, but I even shared with you how I had a book from Department of Agriculture Canada that showed that Department of U.S. Agriculture showed how all CO2 is actually going to help all of the crops in the future. Raising CO2s are going to give us a bountiful crop. Lies, lies, lies. Anyways, keep a heads up on this on your plate. It looks like it may be coming soon.